What's up, everybody? It is Call and Jose, and you're watching Talking Ball. It's very, very nice to see you guys on this lovely Thursday. Let me see if that music is it a bit loud. It seems a bit loud to me. Let's fix that. Lovely, Jose. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Another day's work now finished.
Good deal. Good deal. Yeah, that's always a good feeling. Um, yeah, good deal. And it's almost the weekend, Jose. No Spurs this weekend, as we all already are aware. Um, but but still, the weekend nonetheless. I'm excited, um, and I hope everybody out there is too. Just want to also say to everybody tuning in, uh, welcome in, and I hope your day is going well. Also, um, yeah, Jose. We had a show yesterday. It went well. It was nice. It was fun. Um, it's just nice to be back doing this and seeing everybody in the chat talking Spurs with my homies. Um, yeah, man. I'm still kind of shell shook by the loss over the weekend. Um, but I'm trying to get past it. I'm trying to get past it. How are you feeling on all things Spurs related?
Well, I'm just going to say that as from next week, I'll be doing less of this because I'm back in the office, which means I travel. So I'll be away from home for a couple of days. So I'll be doing less of this as from next week. So, yeah, apart from that, yeah, I'm fine. How do I feel about Spurs? Is that what
Yeah,
you're asking me?
yeah.
Nothing, Spurs is in your blood, man. It's for life. Nothing's going to change, is it? So the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, you run with it all. It's your team. You run with it. If you don't want to stay with the tribe, then go and find another tribe. End of. End of.
Exactly. I love it. And everybody in here, they're members of the tribe for life. You can tell. We've already got some wonderful people that have made some comments in here. I don't know if they're still around. We'll find out. Jazz Fusion left a comment a while ago. Big up Jazz Fusion. Alluding to the title of my video about us spending big potentially. So big up Jazz. Jesse is here. Jesse, big
Afternoon,
up
Jess.
Jesse. Nice to have you here. I hope everything is going good for you and all of your homies. Daniel E is in the house. Big up Daniel. What up, my man? Daniel E.
Dan, who's coming out of retirement tomorrow at 4 p.m. to do his predictions.
Oh yeah. Wait, he I love it. I can't wait. Tomorrow's going to be a fun one too. I can't wait to see what matches you've selected for us. It's going to be good stuff.
And the other thing is, I haven't decided how many matches either, because I'm
Oh,
thinking
snap.
to myself to give people a chance, because there are people that have joined the competition late and want to grab points. So I haven't decided. It may. I've not made my mind up yet because I'm not to the fixtures, but it may be more than 10.
Snap.
If the fixtures are out there, I'll choose them.
Oh yeah. We have no doubt that you'll choose well, Jose. But I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I want to move up this table. I've dropped 2 places, and I need to keep my at least 10th place going. So we'll see. We'll see what I can do. But back to people in the chat. Yeah. So we're just talking transfers. Eugene's in the house. What is up, Mr. Lookman? How are you doing? Eugene is one of my favorites. Jesse again is saying hey to both of us. What is up, Jess? Nice to see you. And she says, smash the likes for these first class gents. I don't know. I think she might be giving us too much credit. Are we first class gents?
I am.
I don't know about me. I don't know about, but this guy though, he is for sure. Audio artisan in the house. What is up, my guy?
Hi, Audio.
Good
How are you,
afternoon,
mate? I hope
chats.
you're well.
And then we've got Wayne Bonner saying, hello, everyone. Hope you're all well, having a good day. We don't need to spend ridiculously big. We need to bring in quality players who will do a job. Absolutely. Big up. And I completely agree on that. And I think so does Ange, if his comments lately are anything to go by. He did say that we would be spending, we would be looking for the right players, but, that we weren't going to be buying £100 million players. And I think that might kind of be what Jazz was referring to up here towards the top. He said might have to define big spend. they've already come out and said what they won't do. And I think that's what Jazz was talking about. I think you probably heard the same thing. I was reading about it earlier, actually, Football London, but it was quite an old, maybe a week old interview. And Postacoglu was talking about, of course we're going to bring players in. He still thinks we've got maybe 3 more transfer windows before we start to look like the team that he wants to build. And so with that kind of in mind, of course we're going to be bringing players in, but maybe not any of these uber expensive players. We've kind of also, sheesh, we were there for Ndombele. We're still paying his wages. It still hurts. We know that a big price tag does not necessarily equal a great player. And Jazz says, see? Yeah, I see, man. I see what you're doing. But yeah, so there are some deals, though, that have been talked about. Ooh, what up, Destiny 5? How's it going, brother? But yeah, there are already some transfers being talked about a little bit.
Tell me.
And I'll tell
you where I sit before you start, right? The way that I sit before we start, right? And this is me only. I'm not speaking for the fan base. I'm talking about me personally, myself, right? If my belief is that we've changed things, which it is, right? Then it means, and I'll say this and I'll repeat it, so it might be rinse and repeat. It means that Langer, Mann, McDermott, Paratici, the powers that be, have been working on a list, targets, transfers for players to come into the club, right? Already, this started for me, should have started at the end of the summer transfer window. So therefore, it's going to be difficult to make the changes in winter. So the ones that you're looking at long term, you'll be doing in the summer. So that gives you a whole year to run it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
On top of that, if we're reaching, we should, if we're decent, we should have reached out, put the feelers out on players to see whether they're interested in coming, and all that jazz. If that happens, like I believe it's happening, then we should be all right in the summer. All right. Because equally, we must have a list of players, or we must be working on players and speaking to certain people. And we must have told players, look, you're not going to be at the club come next season. So then we have to find homes for these people as well. All right. That's what I want to believe is happening and has happened since last year. Now, with that being said, it's, I don't know, would you want to say it's circus season now?
Yeah, it is. It is about that time. Yeah,
it's about that time that the circus comes to town. And when the circus comes to town, it won't only be Tottenham. It'll be every club in the land. Circus comes to town where we're told that we're linked with X, Y, Z, A, B, C, right through the alphabet. 26 letters in the alphabet in England. There's 31 in Spain. And I don't know how many there are in other countries. But every letter will be covered in the alphabet for every club because the circus has now come to town. So, with that being said, you tell me who we've been linked with, because I don't bother with the circus. I bother myself with, come the summer, when we're saying that we're bidding for someone and ink gets put on paper or the top is worn and they've walked into Tottenham Hotspur Way, that's when I say, all right, I'll talk about him now.
Fair. No, I like that. And you've always been the more pragmatic of the two of us, maybe. But I like that. I think we balance each other out well with that. So yeah, there have been some players that have been talked about. Just a bit. First player, obviously, this one's an obvious one. But I mean, he's on loan at our club right now. It's Timo Werner. I just wanted to ask you this simple question. Everyone hears the fee for him as 15 million pound or whatever, and how that's a good deal, and no doubt that it's a good deal. I just wanted to know if his wages were a cause for concern, in your opinion. He makes twice what Poro makes, for reference. Like I think it was close to 200K. Let me see.
No, Werner's on about 160, I think.
Okay, yeah. Is that anywhere? Does that kind of make you uneasy at all about the transfer? Just
no, because right. Okay, let's look at this real terms, right? He's getting 160 a week at a club that doesn't want him. So he's not getting any game time. So Werner has to make a decision. And Werner's decision will be, or should be, It depends whether he's worth his grain of salt or not, and whether he wants to be a professional footballer. But if you want to be a professional footballer and you can be on the bench and get paid that money and not play and be miserable as fuck, right? Or you think to yourself, do you know what? I've got a bit more about myself. I want to move somewhere where I can get an opportunity where I can play football because that's my profession. And if that's the case, then sometimes you're going to have to move on money. So I think that if he comes, or if Tottenham were to bid for him, there'd be some wangling there. Although a price has already been mutually agreed, so to speak, of 16 million or whatever it is, the wages will be something that would have to then be decided. Do you see what I mean? So it
Yeah.
doesn't mean you're earning 160 a year, we're going to pay you 160 a year. No, we're not going to pay you 160. We might pay you 100. Now, the footballer can then determine himself, right, I'll stay and rot at the club I'm at the moment, or I find another club who I'm not going to be suited to, I may not be happy with, right? Or I'm going to go to a club that wants me, and because I'm going to get football, I'm going to drop the money. No, right. For some people are saying the pay cut. I'm just saying, for instance, I don't know how much he gets paid. I don't know what the drop would be, but because you're earning something at the moment, it doesn't mean you're going to earn it at your next place. The only people that might get something like that are your players that are probably up and coming, that have probably shown more. Because what's Werner done for the first half of the season at his parent club? He didn't do much. If you've got a player that's playing week in, week out for their parent club, and then they come, or playing for another team, and then you come to Tottenham, then you might get more money. Someone like Destiny, right? Destiny,
Yeah.
when we signed Destiny, and Destiny probably got a smidgen more coming to Tottenham than what he earned.
I get that.
However, his next contract, he'll earn more. Pat Mate Sarr probably got more coming to Tottenham than when he was at Metz or wherever he was in France.
That is, yes,
Right?
Mets
He
is where
probably
he
got
came
a
from.
smidgen more when we signed him because he's still a young lad, right? But his new 6-year contract is giving him more money. He's earned that, yeah. So some players will get more money than the clubs that they were previously at, but Tottenham have not been one of these sides that go and spend hell for leather 400 grand a week contracts. Sonny's probably our highest contract earner at the moment, and he's not on 400k. He might be with endorsements, image rights, and everything else you have, but as a flat wage, he's nowhere near 400 grand. So that's what people need to understand.
I would probably speculate he's probably only close to 200. Wasn't that what Harry Kane was bumped up to? You know what I mean? So we're not exactly, like you said, a club that pays ridiculous wages, or at least we haven't been. So yeah, I could see us telling Werner, hey, pay cut, is in the cards for you, buddy, if you do want to stay. Everyone there's been some people here saying that he needs to drop to 75k. I saw Destiny 5 saying that he must drop to 75k. Snap.
Well, first of all, you got people that have come in. So you got Bobby K.
Big
Afternoon, Bobby. I hope you're well, sir. You and your family. I hope all is good. We have Leo. What's up, Leo?
What's up,
I hope
Leo?
you're well. I hope you and the family are well. And hope your move is working out well, brother.
Yes. I forgot about the new crib. That's awesome. Awesome stuff,
Audio
Leo.
artisan saying there's a kid in the championship we should look at. His name's Jack Clark. 15 goals and 5 assists in 33 games, playing off the wings. So Audio is like kind of laughing about it because we sold him to Sunderland.
Yeah, we did.
Jazz is saying, as a fan, step 1 is sign the player. Step 2 is determine the system fit. Step 3 is decide for yourself whether the said player matters. Who else we got come in? You got people all saying hello to each other. Jesse agrees with me. What part?
I think that was.
You agree?
You were talking about the wages, and just because he's making X amount of money there doesn't mean he'll make it here. And he has to decide, is the money worth sitting on the bench, and not getting to play football, or would he rather come and play week in, week out, and then make some less money? I think.
And Jazz says Spurs don't have to bid, merely pick up the option. Yeah, the option's an easy one, but they're not going to pick up the option without agreeing terms. So the option is that you can buy him for X amount that's been mutually agreed already, as part of his loan deal. However, to make that permanent, you would then need to discuss with the player a package, how much you're going to salary him, and that's where I'm saying that the package may need to change from what he's earning at the moment. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, but I'm quite aware that you can pick him up. This is where the people started taking literally what I said, the 100 and stuff. Jasper said Werner will never win anything, but he's a bargain. So we've got Ryan G's here saying Colin Jose with a clap in hands.
What up, Ryan?
Jazz, Levy only cares about two things: profit and sustainability.
Well,
Wayne
glad
B
somebody does.
has said, if Werner is still passionate about football and he wants to play, then the monetary drop shouldn't be an issue. It's exactly what I'm saying. Right, who's the next? So Werner's your first player. Who's your next player, Carl?
Yeah, so Werner was the next player, and then there was another player that I was looking at, so I wanted to pull this up too. It looks like there might be some Bundesliga deals this summer. So we've already been looking at Werner, and Werner's here, and it's a good chance that he'll stay. The next player I was looking at is a player named Maximilian Beer. Have you heard of this fellow before?
Yeah.
Another player that we've been linked with. I don't know, called the next Firmino. Roberto Firmino, which is I don't know if it's just because they're both coming from Germany and slightly similar play style. He's a young kid, a 21-year-old. Basically, my question with him is, should we even be looking at people in like this age bracket when we've got Alejo Veliz, virtually the exact same age, out on loan? I don't know. I guess I'm basically just wondering where you think and where the club thinks we need to strengthen the most this summer. What positions are most important? You said 6 players coming in minimum. I remember that's what you've been saying. You think there'll be at least 6 players coming in to replace probably the players out on loan that don't look like they're coming back. So yeah, maybe another forward wouldn't be a terrible idea. I'm looking at this fella's statistics right here, and he doesn't look terrible at all. He's obviously a young kid, 21 years old. Can play. He's one of those people though that Postecoglou likes because he can play many different positions. He can play, as a center forward, but he also spends time on the left and the right. One question that just made me think of: are we doing that too much? Are we looking for players who are more? Do we need specialists in certain positions, or do we need to continue to go for these players that could play in more than one position? Do you think that's hurting us a bit to go for these players that are not a master of one thing, but kind of a do-all type of player? Or is that, do you think
so I'm going to ask you a question. Are you Ange Postecoglou?
I don't think so. That would be very strange if I was.
And I don't believe that I'm Ange Postecoglou, and I don't believe anyone in our chat and anyone that I see on any other bloody channel is Ange Postecoglou. So yeah. when you're talking about the way that you're saying, right, about the 6 players, the reason why I said 6 players is if you look for the last 2 summer transfer windows, we bought 6 the season before last, and last season we bought in 7. Doesn't matter about their ages, where they play, it doesn't matter. This is the amount of players that we've bought, right? So therefore, I'm averaging it at 6. Now, all I've said is, if you average it that you're going to bring 6 players in, then the first players that you're looking to get rid of are going to play some of the players that have been out on loan, right? So you're looking at your Endon Baileys, Tanganga, Rodon, and there's one other that I'm missing.
Tanganga, Rodon.
Region, right?
There you go. Nice.
The other one is Jed Spence. Now, with Jed Spence, a weird thing the other day, and I thought to myself, Jed Spence is really playing well for Bologna, right? If he's got his head screwed on, all right, could he be that player that comes back to Tottenham and becomes the contender for Porro's spot with Porro, and then they sell Royale? Because we can talk about players coming in and how many players we need and what positions, but what we don't know is what positions we're getting rid of.
It's very true.
Because it's not only the loan players, there'll be other players that are playing within the squad at the moment that haven't earned their place in the squad for next season, and they'll be trying to move them on as well.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
So at the end of the day, yeah, we can talk about, I think there's going to be 6 coming in. There possibly might be more, and we need more if you look at the numbers that we've got of players on loan, and then some of the players that are not going to make the cut. Now, but we will, and it won't be just us. You got Ryan's here, you got Jesse here, who support different sides to Tottenham, right? And their clubs are probably being linked with the whole circus as well.
Some of the same players as us, no doubt. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it'll be the same players, but they'll be linked with players as well. There'll be rumours starting to fly around, and there'll be links to players that are coming, players that are going, all sorts. And that'll be happening at Leeds, and also it'll be happening for Ryan at Wolves. There's going to be, the circus is now here. You're in the final throes of the season. So we're at the business end for every division. Doesn't matter what division you're in, we're at the business end of of the season at the moment. Things are going to be decided in the next 2 months. So in 8 weeks' time or so, that's it. There'll be no more. The games in the Premiership, Championship, everywhere will have finished. You'll know who's going up. You'll know who's going down. The only ones that, in 2 months' time, in 8 weeks, you'll have the playoff championships decided as well. So everyone's going to know where they are for next season, right? So now it means that you're going to have, all shit and sundry going on. Circus has come to town. We're going to be linked with everyone. So you said 2 players. Is there any more you got?
Yeah, there's this fellow William Pacho. I'm not sure if you've heard of him much.
Where's he from?
He plays in Germany for Eintracht Frankfurt
Okay.
currently, and he seems to have been doing very well there this season. He's 22 years old. He's played 96. He started 96% of their games this season. Only got 6 yellow cards. So he just seems like a player that, I could definitely see us. I could definitely see us going for. Started his career in Belgium, and he's an Ecuadorian. He's from Ecuador, and yeah, I think we could definitely use another center back. So this is one that I could see happening, just because he's had so much playing time. He's a very established player for 22 years old. And I think that center back should be another position where we're looking to grab somebody, especially if Joe Rodon's not coming back. Is this guy better than Joe Rodon? I don't necessarily think that, but I think that there must be something with Rodon because he's not gotten a sniff. Postecoglou doesn't quite seem interested in him. But we could ask our Leeds friends here if Rodon's been playing well, if they think he's good enough for Spurs. But yeah,
they're not going to tell us where he's good enough for Spurs because they won him at Leeds, so they're going to tell you where he's good enough for Leeds.
Is he good enough? Hey, so Jesse, anybody who's still out there, Joe Rodon, is he good enough? Is he good enough for Leeds? Do you guys think you're going to keep him?
I've spoken to the guys over at that channel and had a really good conversation the last weekend. They want Rodon.
I think Rodon's a good player. I have since we picked him up. I thought the whole thing was slightly strange. There's been a bit of strangeness around him since he came into the club. I don't know if it's an attitude thing or what it is, or maybe with Joe Rodon.
He hasn't got an attitude, mate. He just wants to play football. Always been like that. Has always wanted to play football. He's not been given a chance. People said that he couldn't play in a 3. People said that he can't play in a 2. Well, at Leeds he's playing in a 2 and he's flourishing. Every time he played with Tottenham, he never put a foot wrong. When he played in a 3 for Conte, when he played in a 3 for Mourinho, he never put a foot wrong. The guy's a good footballer. And that's what it is. He's actually a footballer because he can play with the ball at his feet. And he likes the old get up the backside of a striker, as I used to call it, strike the striker. He's prepared to do stuff like that. He's proper old school in the way he wants to play and stuff like that. But he blends it with being able to play football as well. He's a good player. Just that, at the end of the day, he's not been fancied by the previous 2 managers, and he's out on loan. Obviously, they get scouting reports and loan reports and that. But then you've also got Postecoglou and his thoughts on what he wants. And obviously, he's gone a different way because we signed Dragusin. So, but at the end of the day, for me, he is a good footballer. So,
do you think we're one center back short of where we need to be? I'll put it
Right.
that way.
Have you got any more people linked apart from William
Bas-
Pacha?
Yep, just one,
Go on.
and it's Morgan Gibbs White from Forest. Been some talk that Postacoglu is a fan, is interested in him. We know that Forest are in trouble. We know what I mean. We know that they're going to need to sell. Is that a player that you're at all that you
Gibbs
fancy?
White. Gibbs White's homegrown.
Yeah.
Gibbs White can play in the 8 role. Gibbs White can probably play in the 10 role for you. If you wanted him to invert, he could probably go out and play wide for you. If you wanted him to invert like Kulu does, he could possibly do all of that stuff, right? But Gibbs White's going to cost a pretty penny. The only way Gibbs White's price comes down is if Forest get relegated. If Forest stay in the Premiership, Gibbs White's value would be a lot higher than them going down.
Yeah.
He's homegrown, like I said, so that would probably add to the numbers. The thing is, if you're looking at homegrown players, right, and we are serious about looking at some homegrown players, so this is the last player you got on your list, didn't you?
And then I have a question. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so we're going to be linked to Tosin Adarabioyo from Fulham as well. So you're saying we're short centre backs. We're going to be linked with him. He's homegrown as well, right?
Yeah.
He played well against Tottenham last weekend.
He's played well all season, I thought, to be honest.
If that was your audition for Tottenham, then you've certainly passed your audition because he played really well. Right. So what you've got now, right? So that's 2 homegrown players. One of them you'll get for a free. And there's nothing wrong, people, with buying players for free. If you can get a player for free, it means you've got more money and more weight to spend in another area, right? So that's 2 English players, right? So if you're looking at the 2 English players, let's say Morgan Gibbs White and Tosin Adarabioyo, you're looking at them 2. It means you can get rid of some of your English players. So you're dead with the English players that you've got. Now, we've got 2 goalkeepers who count as English at the moment, who are absolutely horrific. They will never get a chance at Tottenham to play, so you need to move them on. But then that's 2 English spots gone, and that's Whiteman and Foster. Whiteman and
why can't I think Austin?
Whiteman and Austin. Right. You got Skip, who I think needs to be moved on. I don't think Skip has learnt and doesn't play the way that Ange wants him to play, so he can move on. You got Sessegnon, who you just said about moving on. But that's 4. That's already 4 players. So you've got to bring players back in to even the numbers, the English numbers up. You've got to even them up. So you've got to get players back in. So I think Danny earlier on in the chat, I don't know where he's got it from, but he was talking about Rabiot.
Yeah, Adrian Rabiot.
Adrian Rabiot from PSG, or I think he's at PSG still, or no, Juve. He might have gone to Juve.
Yeah,
I think it is Juve. Or PSG. You know, players like that. It's all well and good getting players like that, but you got to have spots for them in the squad. You can only have a certain amount of foreign players in your squad, and you've got to have a certain amount of English players in your squad. And whatever you then do, so you can have 18 foreigners, and I think is it 17? No, 17 foreigners and 8 British homegrown players, not including under 21s.
Gotcha.
So this season, someone like Veliz, a Doggy, players like that, they're under 20. They're classed as under 21, so they don't count towards your numbers for the squads.
But next year,
if that changes, I mean, Sarr doesn't count because he's under 21, but Sarr will count next season. But Sarr will be homegrown because Tottenham bought him over 3 years. He got to be minimum of 3 years, and Tottenham bought him over 3 years ago plus. But Matt happened to loan him out. So when he turns 21, he'll be recognised as homegrown. So you don't lose Sarr. Sarr will not take up a spot next year because he's a homegrown.
That's awesome. That's really cool. But yeah, I fully agree with what you're saying. Tosin Adarabioyo, I completely had forgotten about how heavily we were linked with him last summer. Yeah, I think he would be a great player. I think he'd be better than not trying to take a swipe at Chang. Chang really wants Lloyd Kelly from Bournemouth. I think Tosin Adarabioyo would be the better player out of those 2. But yeah, that's a very good point. Thank you for bringing that one up. I hadn't even thought of Tosin today. Basically, I just wanted to kind of...
Yeah, 25 is saying Bergvall will be homegrown as well, and he will be. Bergvall will be homegrown. because but it won't count because he's under 21. But by the time he reaches 21, he'll be homegrown as well.
Yeah.
Um, so there's a lot of this thinking that goes on. There's a lot of different chess pieces that you've got to move around the board in order to uh, bring players in and to complete your squad. So there's a lot of variables that you have to look at, and then we're discussing some of them now, which you quite rightly said you didn't think of that, but these things have to happen because you can only have a squad within a certain limitation.
Yeah.
And the other thing
Absolutely.
is, if you're going to get rid of Johnny Kickable, as we used to call the foreign players years ago, Johnny Kickable. If you're going to get rid of a Johnny Kickable foreign player, then and you've got enough English-based players in your squad, then you can then bring a foreigner in. But to start saying we're looking at all these foreign players, it's going to be difficult to bring them in unless they're under 21. It's difficult to bring them in and find a spot for them because you have to get other players out of the club.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, you know, they'll eventually age out of that, you know, whole under how many years? Sorry. And I think you literally just said this, but how many years does a player have to be with a club under the age of 21 before they count as homegrown?
3.
So we buy a player and they're 20, you know, and we have them and they don't have to count towards our, you know, our foreign player quota. But
They
then
would.
the next year they do.
Would. If you buy an Argentinian at 20 years of age, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't count until they've turned 21. Then they count as
Gotcha.
Argentinian. You've got to be 3 years at the club to count as homegrown.
Yeah.
Sarr is 3 years. Bergval will be 3 years. Destiny won't be 3 years, but Destiny's Italian. So
Yeah.
he will then become a foreign player when he turns 21. I don't know whether it's affected next season, but he will become a foreign player.
Yeah. So I guess I was just saying that those players, even though they're not affecting our foreign player quota now, very easily could in the near future, and a lot of them will. So that's like you were saying, something we have to keep in mind.
You need to catch up with the chat. Hold on.
You got it, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody in the chat, for being so active today. I appreciate you guys. So there are a lot. Hold on, let me get to some of these. Destiny 5 says he hears we're after Kyle Walker-Peters because we have a buyback clause. Am I the only one that wouldn't be that upset to have Kyle Walker-Peters back? I don't think Kyle Walker-Peters is that bad of a player at all. And in fact, I think he's grown leaps and bounds since leaving us. I think he would be 100 times better than Emerson Royale at that inverted fullback role. So yeah, that's just something we want to keep in mind. I know that Destiny, you're putting this in here kind of as a negative, you know, the buyback clause, the skull and crossbones. I see it, but I still don't think that it would be a terrible get for us, especially as he already knows a lot of our players. As there's already some history there. I don't know. I don't think it's as bad of an idea as I think that you might think it is, but we'll have to see. Ryan saying that we will be scouting in Portugal as usual. Laughing, crying face. Oh, you guys, Wolves. I was like, hold on, wait, what's going on? Wolves will be scouting in Portugal as usual, and I thought that would go away when Nuno left, but no. You guys are still majorly scouting in Portugal. Destiny 5 says we need a feeder system like Wolves. They have good Portuguese players waiting in dark room to be called on. That was funny. And then big up Portugal, says Jazz Fusion. That's a very good point.
So the thing is, as you're reading the comments, but the thing that I'm thinking is 3 of the 4 players that you brought up that we're linked with are in Germany.
Yeah, I thought that was strange.
The value is, and always remains to be, the value is in Italy. You get players from Italy, you're going to get them cheaper than what you will from Germany, in my belief. I think the value is to be had is from it by getting players from Italy, from the Italian league. We see that with Vicario, we saw that with Adoghi, saw that with Bentancur, saw that with Kulu. The value is in Italy. I still believe the value is in Italy now. But the players that you've mentioned so far are all in the German league, apart from Morgan White. So,
which I thought was strange too. Yeah.
Interesting.
And people do go on to say things like, oh, you know, the German league is more similar to the Premier League, the English Premier League, in style of play and things like that. I don't know how much I buy that, but I mean, it is similar. You guys signed it.
On the 16-year-old yesterday, right? Jazz is saying that he wouldn't mind Guimaraes. Are you talking about Guimaraes from Newcastle or Guacares from Sporting the forward.
We'll find
I
out.
wouldn't mind if it's Newcastle's Guimaraes. I wouldn't mind him. He's a good player, but I think he's going to go
Not at
for.
all.
I think Newcastle are going to be looking for big money. I'm not sure, but someone made a statement today, and I think it might have been him, not committing himself to Newcastle beyond this season. So no Sporting. So Sporting. So Gyökeres, the old centre forward from Coventry, who went out to Sporting and is doing well at Sporting. The only thing I say to that, Jazz, at the moment is that with Gyökeres is that he has done it in the Championship and he's done it in Portugal. And then, so what you're doing is you're taking a leap of faith whether he can do it in the Premiership. So I'm not adverse to saying no, but I'm just saying it would be a leap of faith with him for me. This is a story about Jed Spence.
Yeah, wouldn't go to the hospital for the kids. Most Leeds players donated their wages. Jed didn't want to go. He had a bad attitude at Leeds. So no, that's a huge bummer. That makes me really sad to think that he couldn't even do that. But maybe there's a reason. There's always
we got told he had an attitude because he was on loan, weren't he, to other clubs as well. And we got told that he had an attitude, but
he showed up late for training. But this is something totally different than that. You know what I mean?
But I'm just saying, at Bologna, by all accounts, the people in Bologna are really happy with him, and all sorts are really happy with him, and they're saying
and
he's playing
people
well.
grow up. I was an absolute twit growing up until about the age of 25. I hit 25 and I woke up one day and I was like, "Oh my God, what is wrong? What have I been doing?" And a lot of these guys are the same, but to an extreme. I mean, they've got money that I couldn't even dream of. They're young guys, so I think a lot of maturity, will come with these guys. But still, that is a very scummy thing. Osimhen to Chelsea has legs.
It has legs. It can have as many legs as it wants.
I was going to say, you're pumped about it. You don't want him anywhere near us.
Let Osimhen go to any club, and your club, Osimhen is fucking Romelu Lukaku Mark II. He is shocking. He hasn't got a decent shot on him. He can't control the ball. He's for a player that's meant to eat people in the air. He doesn't. I mean,
he doesn't look strong enough on the ball, in my opinion.
He might have a ceiling to get better. I watched him in the AFCON as well. He was shocking in the AFCON as well.
Damn, and that's where you're up against competition that's not quite as. No offense to the defending standards.
Osimhen is worth £100 million. Nowhere near it. The only player at that club that's worth £100 million is the little Georgian magician Kvaratskhelia. He's the one that's worth the 100, mate. So
you want him so bad. I hope we can do it. That would be amazing.
He's top player, top player. Ryan G says Destiny we're linked with a guy called Rodrigo Gomez. He's a winger, but maybe Neto's replacement.
I don't know how I feel about Neto. He's just so injury prone for me. But
Wayne wants a backup for a doggy and Vicario and a quality striker. I'd like to see Valiz get some game time next season, along with Devine and Phillips. What I will say about Devine, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to piss on people's parades here, but Devine, obviously, there's a path, right? Devine was taken away from playing for. In League One, who did he play for? Was it Preston? No, it weren't Preston. Was it Preston? No, it weren't Preston. Port Vale. So Port Vale he played for in League One, and they bought him back in the winter window, and they sent both him and Phillips to Plymouth in the Championship because they knew the manager there used to be in the England setup, knows them well, and all that. Devine started the first 3 games, hasn't been seen since. He's a substitute, either unused or comes on for the last 15 minutes or so. So Devine's not that. So where he was getting game time for Port Vale every week and every game, he's now not getting that game time at Plymouth. So he's gone up a league, and he's not getting the game time. So I'm not too sure whether that means he'll get game time at Tottenham next year. I suppose there's a pre-season to go through with him, and then we'll see what happens. But Phillips is getting loads of game time. Phillips is doing really well, and it's getting loads of game time there. It's the players we move on as well. I can't see Spence playing for us. Rodon will go to Leeds, Tanganga and Davis. That's 4, and whoever else.
I don't know if we'll get rid of Davis this summer. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I just don't know who would come in for him.
Jesse's confirming what I already know, that they want Rodon at Leeds.
Hey, I'm sure he'd like to stay, get that playing time that we were talking about. So
Destiny likes Rodon. It reminds him of Cahill. Cahill was a late bloomer. DC saying Rodon's biggest fault is his inability to move up quickly with his fellow defenders. I watched him play against Millwall the other day, and I thought he had a top game. Again,
didn't look like he was catching anybody on side or anything.
No, he played really well. He played really well. Nice. Ryan's reminded us that Gibbs White had played 8, 10, and on the wing when he was at Wolves.
Yeah, versatile player, and we know Postecoglou loves him.
Spurs should have spent the extra 10 million and got Gibbs White instead of Johnson because he's far more tools to his game than Johnson. Tosin and Rabiot are both on freeze in the summer. What's changing? Like I said, are you saying that Tosin's not good enough to be at Tottenham? Because if Tosin's good enough to be at Tottenham and he's a free, why would you go and pay for him if you can get him for free? That's what I'm saying. Because I think he's a good enough player. So if he's a good enough player to come and he's on a free, then you go for him on a free. You don't pay a fee for him if he's free.
And especially when
that money could then be saved or plummeted in elsewhere. Although
everyone will hear saved, and they'll just think that you mean into Levy's pocket. And I see the anger here, I guess, with people thinking that we make all this money and we're not spending any. But like you said, if you don't have to spend, why spend?
But then what I will say is, in my opinion only, from what I was trying to say earlier, and I said in my opinion about the transfers, in my opinion only, I'm going to be watching with bated breath to see what happens in the summer. Because in the summer, I want to see what happens, but I'm not talking about what happens during, I'm talking what happens by the close of the transfer window. Unless I can see everything's been done, that my eyes get open during the transfer window, I'm going to give it to the end of the transfer window. And that will make my mind up of where I sit with the whole debate about Ange and whether he's being backed or not. If you've got a manager like him, and I think that he will do wonders for this club, then you've got to go out and get the players that he needs. Getting the players that he needs doesn't mean you're going to spend an £80 million on each player. £80 million and doesn't suit your system, it's money thrown out the window, right? So you're going to have to go for players that he wants. He's not a type of person. He's an honourable man, would you not say, from what you've seen of him so far, Colin?
Absolutely. So,
yeah. I mean, we've all seen that video of the confrontation he had with that chap back in the day, right?
Classic.
He's an honourable man. If he doesn't see that something's right and he doesn't agree with it, he'll call it out for what it is. And if he doesn't get the players that he wants and he's shitted or shafted about, he will let these people know. And we'll get to know as well. And I don't think he's the type of person to hang about, because I'll be honest with you, this guy could get a job anywhere, right? Doesn't have to be at Tottenham. He can leave Tottenham because he doesn't get what he wants. He can leave Tottenham and he can walk into another job. People will take this man on. So,
yeah,
that's where I stand. I'm going to give it till the summer. In the summer, I'm going to cast my beady eye and I will make my own personal decision, not one that I follow the crowd. I will make my own personal decision of where I sit with everything. So,
where you sit with Levy, where you sit with the backing of the manager,
where I sit with the whole lot, I will know in the summer where I sit with it all. By the end of the summer transfer window, I will know where I sit.
Yeah, absolutely. And you bring up a good point. I mean, I think that this summer could be an opportunity for us to close the gap with the teams at the top of the table. You noticed, I noticed, everybody noticed that during January we were one of the only teams to make like I don't want to say big money signing, but Dragic was a pretty big money signing, and there weren't very many other signings like that of that caliber or quality or price range in the Premier League this January. And I just wonder if that's a sign of what's to come in the summer as well. You were saying, you've been saying that you think what happened to me yesterday.
I haven't got a clue what he's talking about.
I think he might be talking about the call-in show. Because there was some talk about that yesterday.
But a calling show would have been on a Tuesday, wouldn't have been on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
You're going to have to tell us, Jishnu, what you're referring to, because you kind of lost us.
Sorry about that, man.
That's all right. That's all right.
But Yeah, I just think that you've been saying that you think the days of the really extravagant and insanely high transfer fees are done. That we might be kind of past that. The bubble might have burst, so to speak. So do you think this summer kind of gives us an opportunity, gives us an edge, gives us a
It's
way
got
to
nothing
sort
to
of
do. It's got nothing to do about having an edge. To me, at the end of the day, if Ange wants a certain player, get him that player. Now,
yeah
if that player is a free, if that player costs you 10 million, if that player costs you 30 million, that person costs you 40 million. If that's the player he wants and that's the player fits the system, go get him. End of. There's no argument. Just end of. The players that you don't want at the club, work hard, get them out of the club. So you're working, like I say, listen, he ain't no mug. They know what players are making the cut and what players ain't making the cut. They know this already, right? The thing is, they can't ever turn around and say to the player this early, apart from players that are outside the club at the moment, they're not going to turn around and say to someone, I don't know, let's say, Richarlison, for instance. He's not going to turn around and say to Richarlison now, right? You need to go to your agent, look around if you want, because you're not going to be here next season. We're looking to move you on. You won't do that now. There's 10 games to go in the season. But if Richarlison was one of them, they've already got on the list as one of them that they're going to tell at the end of the season it's got to leave, right? So do that, help them find other clubs, but bring players in. The one thing is you don't want to leave yourself short. You want to bring players in, but equally you can't bite off the hand that feeds you by getting rid of players, too many, and then not having enough players to have a squad with. So you've got to balance it. It's a balancing act. But there'll be players, like I said, the players that are out on loan, the majority of them are going to be gone, or they want them gone. They need to find them new homes. But there'll be others within the squad as well. And then you can bring players in. But
yeah
like I said, to me, it will be during the transfer window. I'm not saying I'm going to make my mind up at the beginning, the middle, but by the end I will, because by the end I would have seen the whole picture. If I like the picture I'm seeing during the middle, then I'll say it during the middle. But I've got till the end of the transfer window. But for me personally, without following what anyone else says and that, my personal opinion is I will form that in my own time by the end of the transfer window. I'll know exactly where we stand and don't stand. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, exactly. And I'm excited to see maybe us looking in some different markets than we have been, with all of the new guys we've got appointed and Ange himself, knowing some markets that it doesn't seem like we've taken advantage of in the past. So yeah, I get what you're saying. I absolutely get what
David
you're saying.
saying players gone in the summer: Lo Celso, Gil, Solomon, Bailey, just to name a few. Audio is saying he believes KWB is a better right back than Royale and better left back than Davies. Jazz is saying he's on our Bailey's on our books for 1 more year. He is contracted for 1 more year, but I'm hoping that this is the season that he goes. Is what I'm saying. Ryan was confirming it was Gyökeres from Sporting, so yeah, they're both saying it. And Jesse said that Arsenal are looking at Gyökeres.
Oh well, then I no longer would like him. I'm just kidding.
Daniel Lee says people do not forget Jackson Martinez was quality in Portugal, garbage elsewhere. Bobby K saying that the rumours of Jed attitude seem to be true. He's another Endon Bailey. Destiny saying Osimhen is a ram and that's it. Ryan is saying strikers in this era are piss poor. I'm trying to get down because otherwise we're going to be well beyond this chat.
Thanks, I appreciate you.
I agree with Tossing, but what about Rabiot though? I'm not saying Rabiot because I never said that we should go for Rabiot. I'm just saying that if someone's on a free and they're a decent player and they're a decent option and they could do something within your team, then don't look a gift horse in the mouth. If the player's free, he's free. Like I said, if the player's worth, it's going to be sold for 10, it's 10. If it's 40, it's 40. Just bring him what he needs. Bring him what he wants. Because then at the end of the day, if he gets bought what he wants, then Postecoglou can only then turn around and say, well, you've given me what I wanted, and this is what I can do with the team, or this is what I've not been able to do with what you got me, because you got me what I wanted. Jazz is saying, Conte told me, thank you, Antonio. So when we was talking about everything that's going on, because it's a year since that happened. It was yesterday or the day before. It was a year since that happened after the game against Southampton. We've got Pramvat in the house saying, "Yo, guys."
Pranvat, big up, my man. Big up, Pranvat. Good to see you, buddy.
We've
Big.
got Ben Kaufman here. Good afternoon, Ben. Says my patient has run out, boys. Backhands now or Levy.
Yeah, hey,
Who else
can't
you
disagree
got?
with that.
Colin
Big
is
up,
slow.
though. Big up,
Colin
Ben.
is slow with the chat. Destiny's giving it to you. He's giving it out to you.
It's been a busy day. Sorry, guys.
Kubu would be a good signing at Spurs as well. Ange likes his Asian players. I think
That's
there's
true.
I think there's a lot of players, and Ben will attest to this because Ben said this many a time as well. There's a lot of players at Real Sociedad who do well coming to play for Tottenham. They've got some really good footballers over at that team. I suppose it depends where Sociedad finish in the league this year. If they're outside the top four, it could be that they might want to sell a couple of their players. But Sociedad seem to do well. Sociedad seem to bring players through or buy players for really cheap. And
I was going to say their scouting seems like it's top notch. Must be.
Yeah.
Must be. But that's a good point about Asian players. I think we'll see more. I think we'll definitely see more Asian players under Ange. Absolutely.
Jazz is saying guys under contract will not move unless they want to. Permanent curse if you miss on the evaluation. We have a good afternoon from Adrian. Good afternoon, Adrian. And
Adrian, what's up, brother?
Spurs G6 Graham's here saying, afternoon, Jose and Colin. Have I missed the predictions?
No.
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Oh, he's being told already. He's being told already it's tomorrow. And then you've got Kate from Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs.
Sorry about that.
So hello, Kate. Afternoon to you. Hope you're well.
Love you, Kate. Good to see you.
And then you've got what else have I got? Got people all saying hello to each other again.
I love to see it. Leo saying back to work.
Yeah,
bye,
see you later, Leo. Take care, mate. Leo. Bye, Leo.
Yep.
Right.
Always good to have Leo here.
So what do you have next for us, sir?
Well, I basically was just going to ask if there's any players that I haven't mentioned, any players that you think that might go for, might have to leave their current club this summer for one reason or another, say the club goes down or FFP issues. Are there any players from teams that are, like I said, at the bottom of the table or teams hamstrung by FFP that you want us to snap up? And I know that you're not Ange, and so your answer is going to be I want whoever Ange wants. But do you think there are any players that are of good value that we could nab?
If teams get we said hi, Pramvat, already. Yo, guys. Yeah, we did say hello already to you earlier, mate. Right. So for me, if I look at the league table, because the weird thing is that with all this FFP malarkey
points deduction
now,
crap.
the points deductions, we don't necessarily know who's going to be down, and we probably won't know till the week after the season finishes. Right.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
If I looked at the teams that are down at the moment, if I'm looking, right, if I'm saying Crystal Palace are safe, and that one of the three could be Brentford, Everton, Luton, Forest, Burnley, Sheffield United, right? Because I don't know what kind of points deduction Everton are going to get, because apparently their case is next week, so we'll know what their fate is as well for further points deductions. We know Forest have been given theirs already, but they'll probably appeal it. But it means the gap between Burnley and Luton is now 5 points. And if you look at the gap between them and Brentford, it's 9 points. Now, that seems like a lot, but that's 3 matches. And Brentford have been spiralling. So, by saying that, would I want anyone from Sheffield United?
You talk very kindly about their front three.
No. Luton Town front three. Not Sheffield United. Luton Town, I said, had a quick front three.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, if I look at Burnley, I look at Sheffield United, no one springs to mind. I look at Burnley, and I look at a backup goalkeeper in James Trafford, right? If you were going to bring someone that's young and that can learn from Vic and has got a higher ceiling than any of the keepers we've got at the moment, I would say the goalkeeper of Burnley, James Trafford. Ben saying Cameron Archer at Sheffield United would be an interesting signing. I then look at Nottingham Forest, right? And for Forest, for me, it is Gibbs White. Gibbs White is a top footballer. He's a really, really good player. I like the look of Anthony Alanga as well, the winger there, because he's got pace to burn and he likes to cross. He can cross the ball. He can do a lot of things that our players can't do at the moment. So they're the two players I look at Forest. At Luton Town, I look at Ogbeni. Ogbeni, I think his name is. He's the one that's impressed me at Luton Town. Although that Doughty, or whatever his name is, the left back, but he's a bit older. He's a bit older now, so I'm not sure whether he's the right fit. But on the left, he looks decent. He could be vying with a doggy, but I think he's too old. Players played really well for Luton this season, but maybe on the wrong end of the stick now. It's a player we previously went for in Ross Barkley, but then he ended up going to Chelsea. He's had a decent season, but again, he's one of these that I think might be on the wrong side. Everton. If I get to Everton, first and foremost, I'd say Jareth Brathwaite at Everton. You're going to look at him.
Player, yeah.
You probably give a look at him. I think that Onana in their midfield is 21, Belgian player. I think he's a rough diamond. He's a real rough diamond, and he could be anything.
Polish that a bit, exactly.
He could be anything. So Onana I'll probably look at because he could be anything. But then I also like Godfrey. People may not, but I like Godfrey, and he can play right back, left back, or he can play in the middle, centre back. He can play in any of them three positions, so he could be good cover, or even challenge some of these for three positions for the first team. And then with Brentford, the only player that I like of Brentford, but he'll never come to Tottenham, is Ivan Toney. But he won't come to Tottenham.
Yeah, and like you said, if he doesn't want to come, if it takes a lot of like persuasion, I don't think it's worth it. You know what I mean? I don't think it would be.
But these teams that I'm talking about, they will only sell cheaper if they get relegated.
Definitely. Oh, if they barely hang on, they're going to want to keep all their players for they're going to want as much money as possible for replacing and staying in the Premier League next year. Absolutely.
And then also as well, some of these clubs, I don't know, they may have FFP problems, but for me, I think FFP, we missed the boat. If you're asking me, I think we missed the boat already. Because they're changing the rules for FFP because everyone said it's an absolute nightmare. So they're changing the rules and they're going more European standard rules, which means that they'll affect some clubs, won't affect the others. And I think if we needed to press on the panic button for other teams, not us panicking, but press on their panic buttons, we should have done that in January. I feel that we may have already missed that boat.
Damn.
Because they're changing the rules again. But like I said, it goes without saying, if any of these 6 clubs get relegated, you will get the players cheaper. Other than that, the players that are being mentioned by people in the chat and the players that I've mentioned will end up going for a bit more money because you haven't been relegated.
That's fair. I completely agree. Wanted to throw out real quick. I saw a comment from Lee. He said, "Colin, what are your thoughts on Susan Boyle? She's not the type of not one of the sorts I'm looking at, Lee. But maybe she fits your MILF status. No, beautiful singer, beautiful voice, right? But that's good old Susan for you. Brand Vat, big up. I know we've already said that. Jazz Fusion says pool be interesting for sure, but they will already have had their path mapped before the season ends. Oh, you're just talking about what they're going to do with Klopp leaving. Mohamed Salah probably not going to be there next season. Yeah, Liverpool will be an interesting one to watch. Just a girl who loves Spurs, Kate, saying Zubamendi, please. Where does he play? Why don't I know him?
Zubamendi plays for Real Sociedad. He's a holding midfielder.
Okay, nice. Yeah, sweet. And I know that we don't exactly play with a holding midfielder, but we always could. Jazz Fusion, the big clubs are too big to fail. Unfortunately, I think you're right. And Tequila's in the house. What is up, Tequila?
Big up. A long time no see, brother.
Always good to have you, man. Someone says MILF and I'm there. Good God. I love it. I love it. Um, she's an English Butte call. Yeah, yeah.
And Jesse's pissing us up laughing. I'm surprised it's about the Susan Ball comment.
I love it. I love it. What else? What else we got here? So basically, guys, I also wanted to say, of course, um, Prediction League tomorrow, everyone. Just because there are no Premier League games this weekend, uh, does not mean that there is no predictions league this week. Jose has been nice enough to pick out. He's going to pick out some international matches for us and give everybody a chance to get some points on the board and hopefully climb up a few spots in the predictions league. So that's one exciting thing. That'll be tomorrow at 4 p.m. Just like today. So we don't want to forget that. Also, guys, Jose's got his mop-up show tonight at 10 p.m. UK time. So everybody, make sure that you are there for Jose's mop-up. It's going to be a little bit different than his normal mop-up shows, where he's going to actually, from what I've heard, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's going to be a link maybe given out and people given the option to actually come on the show and answer the questions with him. I think it sounds wonderful. It's going to be super fun. So everybody make sure that you tune in to that. Also, we have pushed the members show out till Saturday. So guys, we're still doing the members call-in show Saturday. And that's going to be at noon GMT is what we decided on that one, it looked like.
Yeah. So tonight is, I think you just showed it, didn't you? Sorry, tonight is El Tel Cockerel, and it's the mop-up show. So
but you're gonna have some guests, maybe, or
get your questions ready, because I'm going to prepare some questions as well. Tomorrow is the dual stream, so we'll be on Talking Ball and El Tel Cockerel for the prediction show tomorrow. We are doing, for those that haven't heard and have not read the community page, people on the show yesterday said that they wanted to continue to do predictions, even though there wasn't any Premiership games, and mostly it's for people that want to gain points, who only just started playing. They want to gain points. So I will be doing setting up some predictions. Like I said, it will always be a minimum of 10 games, but because you've got internationals being played, League One, League Two, and other things, I might increase the amount of games slightly to give people a chance and give them what they want. So that will be tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And then on Saturday on Talking Ball, we have the members show at midday. So midday would be midday here for us, 7 o'clock in the morning for Colin. It will be 5:30 in India, and it will be 8 to 11 p.m. in Australia, Malaysia, Southeast Asia. So so like that, we've had to pick a time where most people could get covered.
Yeah, I think it's perfect. No, it sounds great, and I hope we get a wonderful crowd. We've had a lot of wonderful people blessing each other with memberships. So there's a lot more members than we had even just a week ago. So everybody, if you are a member of La Familia, please be on the lookout for that link. It'll obviously be posted in the member section on the YouTube on the YouTube page. But you'll be able to find the link there and jump in on the show. We can't wait to see you. It's going to be awesome.
Pramvac, I'll answer this when the season finishes and when it means something for me to answer. At the moment, it's if, buts, and monkey nuts. I don't know that Man United have finishing sixth. I don't know Tottenham are finishing fifth. And I definitely don't know whether Man United are winning the FA Cup. So I reckon when we come to the end of the season, tell me where you finished, and then we'll know where we're finished, and then we can have that discussion then, Pramvac. It's hypothetically not a question that I can get even remotely near to answering at the moment, mate.
Yeah, like you said, there are a lot of variables at play with that one. But yeah, Pranvat, we'll be happy. We'll be happy to come back to that one. Don't forget it. We won't either. We'll try not to, at least. Want to see more signings like Bergvall, says Jishnu. Yeah, me too. And hopefully with this new setup we've got, Bergvall screams Langa to me. It just seems like something his more stats driven model. Young player, they're from similar parts of the world. I don't know. It just screams like a Longa find to me. I don't know about you, Jose, but it's exciting. It's exciting. I like the fact that we're looking for younger players. We're looking for, you know what I mean? We're looking at the future. And I know that obviously a lot of people want us to invest into our academy and get players for the future that way. But if they're not there, they're not there. You know, we need to bring them in. They need to be here. And so if they're not coming through the academy, let's grab them and, you know, and build our build our youth teams and you know, kind of build up from there. If the talent's not there, you've got to get it from somewhere. So yeah, these signings like Bergvall are sweet, and he's not going to play for the under 21s. He's not going to play. I think he's going to jump straight into the senior team when he comes back. So yeah, big up. I would also just like to see more signings like Bergvall. Just big up. Always good to have you here, my man. But yeah, guys. All right. It's a wise answer, Jose. Jose's full of wise answers. He's a wise man.
Dekaru, hi Dekaru, how are you?
What's up, Dekaru? Caught us at the end, my man.
Dekaru is 11 hours ahead, right? So,
yeah,
that must make it 4:09 in the morning for you, Dekaru. What on earth are you doing up at 4:09 in the morning, mate?
I don't know. That's something crazy. Dekaru, big up though. I'm glad you stopped in to say hello.
You can tune into what's he saying? Late to the stream 4 a.m. That's what I just said. Dekaru, come and see me. Come and see me in 4 hours. I'm on in El Tel Cockerel. Come and see me in 4 hours when you've woken up, mate.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But it is always nice for you to drop in here. We really do appreciate it, Dekaru. Yeah, El Tel is a very, very wise man. Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Dekaru, the early bird from Ryan, and Sanchez, just afternoon geezers.
Hey, what's up, Sanchez? Good to have you, my man. Yeah,
you've come at the wrong time because we're just finishing off. So
we are, but it is a nice, like you said, a nice time to tell everybody. And I'll throw the picture up again. Jose's mopping up later, everybody. 10 p.m.
9.
Sorry, 9 p.m. That's my fault. I think I need to change that on stream.
No, it's not. No, I think it's already for 2100. It's already been set up. It's 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Because otherwise, I've got to work tomorrow, and in the end,
you'll be up forever.
It goes on. So yeah, so I'm going to go on at 9 o'clock tonight instead, slightly an hour earlier, to try and get it. But get your questions ready if you're going to come on. I'm going to have questions. I had two that I thought about, so I'm going to put them forward. But I'm going to think of some more before tonight.
Awesome. Hopefully, I can tune in for at least a bit in the background, have it playing while I'm working.
Right, and Jesse, I forgot to say, Jesse's going on at about 7, I think, tonight, because Jesse's doing the watch-along for Wales, Finland for the qualifier for the Euro Championships first leg. So I think, it's being done tonight. So if you want to watch the qualifier, then what I suggest you. So if you want to watch the qualifier, then please join Jesse's stream tonight. And you can go from there.
Absolutely. And I want to just get her link popped up real quick there for everybody, and then yours, Jose, and then we will be good to get to kind of end this, so I can get back to job number 2 today, 3 if you count this one. But so guys, here is the link to Jessie JSY Talks Football. She's doing that watch along, guys. And definitely go tune into that. It's always fun. Always enjoy her streams. Super, super chill. Jesse's awesome. So everybody make sure you're over there checking that out. And then of course at 9, El Tel. He's got his mop-up show. And everybody, that is the link to his page right there. Please make sure you're subscribed, that you've hit the notification bell, and that you tune in at 9 p.m. tonight with some questions ready. It's going to be a fun one. It always is. I love those mop-up shows, Jose. So hope you have a fun one tonight, my man.
You're too kind.
Hey, nah. It's all the truth, my man. Descartes says he's always loved Ben Davies. Sad, I know. Wales all the way. I know. I've loved Ben Davies too. He's a consummate professional, man. He's the best. It's going to be sad to see him leave the team soon. But yeah, big love to Ben Davies and all he's done for Spurs. No rock questions tonight, people, says Ryan. I don't know if you've had some questions about rocks.
Yeah, about music. Ryan just keeps getting
Oh, okay.
stumped every time music questions come up, and he's lost like scratches his head, and
He
he
said he
doesn't. I
hasn't even
don't
got a
think
Scooby.
he doesn't understand what music he likes and what he doesn't like. So he's brilliant. He's brilliant, right? He's just like, well, I ain't got a clue what you're talking about.
For a second, I thought you meant like rocks, like geology or something. So that this makes more sense.
He may well have meant that as well.
Who knows? Who knows? But yes. So everybody, thank you for tuning in. This show was kind of hastily put together today, but you guys all showed up and hung out, and that's really what makes it. So thank you to everybody for tuning in. And he says only rock music. Okay, gotcha, Ryan.
Well, none of mine were music questions, but now that you said it's only rock, I might throw some music ones in there as well.
There you go. He's bigging us up. Big up yourself, Ryan. Thanks for always tuning in, man. It really is nice. And to everybody here, thank you so much for tuning in. We always say this, but the show wouldn't exist without you guys. We really appreciate you guys. So many places you can be and things you can do with your time, but you're here with us. It means the world. And I also wanted to thank everybody who has taken out a membership or gifted a membership. That all goes a long way. It means a whole lot too. If you are interested in that for yourself, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. And we do weekly member call-in shows. This week's was kind of strange. It's going to be on Saturday, midday. But we'll talk some more about that obviously later. And guys, LTL tonight and predictions tomorrow. Is there anything that I've missed? Oh, well, sorry. Yes. And there's the 11 a.m. show tomorrow on your channel, my friend.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that. Yeah, sorry. Ellie and Chang are doing the 11 o'clock in the morning show. Normally it's the ladies' view or the ladies' takeover, but Ash is away at a wedding. So Chang said,
it's wedding season, I guess.
Yeah, I'll do it. So you've got Chang on. Yeah.
Eltel Cockrell, Ellie and Chang take over. Yeah, it's going to be a good
tomorrow.
one.
That's tomorrow at 11 a.m. Yeah, forgot all about that because I'm working. So yeah, so be Ellie and Chang tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Boom, boom. All right, everybody. Hey, and Lee Smithy wants.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw the message already.
Boom, boom. All right. Well, that's basically all I've got, and I got to run and get logged in off everything. You know, you guys already know. But again, thank you, everyone. And Jose, anything you'd like to add before we?
Yeah, I'll see you guys tonight. And for those people that we don't see tonight, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at any stage, but especially the prediction shows.
Absolutely. Help make it easy on Jose, everybody. Be there. Get him your answers tomorrow, so he's not, scrambling all weekend.
I'm a masochist because I'm asking for more people to join and play. So I want to get to the 100 if we can. We're on 84 people playing at the moment. We get to the 100, yes. We've done well.
I think, I think we could make it a season, an every season thing too. Let's get it going next season.
It will be, yeah. Well, we will do because people will then start from the start because we didn't start from the start. We started doing it after like game week 9 or 10 or whatever it was. So
yeah, I think it was 9. Good. Nice memory on you. Yeah, absolutely.
Something like week 9 or week 10 we started it. So something like that. So yeah, we can start it from scratch next year.
Look, and Bobby K being a gent says nice one.
Thank you,
Bobby. Appreciate you, Bobby.
Yes, right. Sir. I've got a shoot. So listen,
yeah, me too.
With that, I'm going to say, come on, you Spurs, and in hands we trust. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Thanks, everybody. All right, I'm going to do a little bit more goodbyes, but Jose, I will see you soon.
See you later, mate. Bye.
See you, buddy. Bye-bye. Boop. All right, and again, everybody, I just wanted to one last time say sorry that the things with the schedule got a little wild this week, but it is good to be back to normal, and good to have you guys, man. Really, this is like a bright spot of my day. Getting ready to go to work, talk to some angry people, but it is nice to talk to you lovely folks first. So thanks to everybody for tuning in. As always, thanks to Jose for helping co-host and kind of help me along. Like I said, kind of threw this one together last minute, but really guys, appreciate you. Hope everyone has a lovely day. Be good to yourself, be good to those around you. And yeah, come on, you Spurs. And everybody will play out with the James Madison song, because why the hell not, right? So here it comes. And again, big love, guys.
My team has got James Madison. James Madison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got James Madison. This kid plays ball like you would never believe. Whoa.